Alright, so today we're going to make a jack-o'-lantern. First thing that we want to do is we're going to open up a new part. Then we're going to create a new sketch. And we're going to put the sketch on this back plane. Alright, first tool that we're going to use is our line tool. So you're going to make a straight line up and down. You want to make sure that it's at 90 degrees. You don't want it off to the side, or else it'll mess up the next part that we do. So straight line. And we're going to measure that, so D for dimensions, and we're going to make that 12 inches. Now it shoots off your screen, so on your keyboard I'm going to hit home, and that'll center it. Next thing I'm going to use is my arc tool, and I'm going to trace a line that we just drew, so I'm going to make sure I start at the top, and bring my mouse, click on the bottom line, and then if you move your mouse to the right or the left, you'll see the arc pops up. Now we're going to pull our arc back until it starts to come back down again. And then once it starts to come down, you can go ahead and type, and we're going to make this box 6.25. Next thing we're going to do is revolve it. So remember, R on your keyboard is for the revolve. You're going to select the center line, and we're going to revolve around, and then that is the base of our pumpkin. Alright, next thing we're going to do is we're going to shell it and color it. Let's go ahead and color it first. So I'm going to click on where it says default up here, and I'm going to change it to orange. Oops, that is not orange. So I'm going to change it to orange, and then we're going to shell it. Now, all you have to do to shell it is you're just going to click on the shell tool. Do not click on your pumpkin. So do not click on your pumpkin, but we are going to change the shell size to 0.75. So right now it's hollow inside, and we'll see that in a minute. Alright, so over here by your view cube, I'm going to hit this little house, get a nice isometric view, and now I'm going to add on a work plane so that we can start to draw the face. So work plane, open up my origin folder, and we're going to use the XY plane. Now right now it's in the center of our pumpkin, so I'm going to click on this little circle in the corner, and I'm going to drag it forward. Once I've drug it a little bit, in this box I'm going to go ahead and type in 8.125. And that will put that work plane out in front of the pumpkin. Now I can click on Create 2D Sketch, click on the outside of my work plane, so this is one of those gold lines, and now we have our box. In our sketch. So now you can start to use your drawing tools and make your pumpkin. I'm going to make a very quick pumpkin here. You guys will make yours a lot better than mine. Now when you are drawing, you want to make sure, remember that you don't have any overlapping lines or intersecting lines. So when I try to extrude this, you'll see one of my eyes has an overlapping line. Oh, still let me extrude that. But if it didn't, you could use a tool called trim, and you could click there and it would trim off the excess bit. So when you go to extrude, remember E to extrude. Select what you want to extrude. You're going to change it to cut. And you're going to make that 7 inches. And that should cut into your pumpkin. Now we don't need this work plane anymore, so we're going to go ahead and get rid of it. So on the work plane over here on the left, we're going to right click on it and take away its visibility. You can't delete it, because if you delete it, it'll also delete the stuff that you drew. So we just don't want to see it anymore, so we're going to uncheck its visibility. Now the inside of the pumpkin, we're going to make it look like it's glowing. So you either click inside your mouth or the nose or whatever, and you're going to click on there, and then right click, go to properties, and then you can change that surface to another color. And I'm going to scroll all the way down and just use yellow. So now it'll look like it's glowing in there. Now the only thing that we're missing now is our stem. The stem obviously goes in the middle of the pumpkin. So to do that, we're going to use another work plane. So I'm going to click on my little home button here. work plane. Still going to use our XY plane, and I'm going to pull this little circle again, one way or the other, it doesn't really matter. But then when you get this box that pops up, you're just going to change it to 0. And that'll pop it right in the center. Now we're going to put a sketch on again. So create 2D sketch, click on the outside of my box, and then you can start to draw your stem. Now, when I draw the bottom of the stem, you're not going to be able to see it because it's going to be on the inside of your pumpkin here. But you want to make sure that you have a flat line there. I'm going to use my arc tool, and you got to make sure everything's connected. So you can see how when I pull down, that line pops up. You want to make sure that you're clicking on the end of that line, or else it won't let you extrude here in a moment. Alright, this is not going to be the greatest stem in the world. But then you connect these two guys, and then extrude. Now, the stem is coming straight out here, and we want it to be still in the middle. So in the direction, I'm going to click on that, and we're going to make it symmetric. So this way it's coming out both ways the same distance. And in this case, it's going to make it 7 inches coming out from the center. We don't want it to be that big, so let's make it 1.5. There's our stem. We don't need our work plane anymore, so we can hide that. Uncheck its visibility. And then you can start to make, to color the stem if you want. Now to change the color of an individual surface, just like we did on the inside, you're going to click on that surface, right click, properties, and then change it to another color. I'm going to use dark green. Now you can select more than one surface at a time if you want. That is by clicking on a surface, holding down Shift, and clicking on the other surfaces that you want to change. Once you have them all selected, you can right click, properties, and then change it to your dark green or whatever color you choose. I think I have one more surface over here that I haven't gotten yet. Alright, once you have that done, your pumpkin is done. Nice job. Again, if you wanted to, you could have done text too, as opposed to just like face. But faces are just fine. Alright, hope you had fun doing